Why would any country ever make an agreement with the United States if they thought that even if they were technically complying with it, we might void it? Why would a country do that? Why in particular would North Korea ever consider making a nuclear agreement with us under those circumstances?
Well, first, North Korea doesn't need any pretext to break its own commitments. North Korea has been negotiating and making international commitments for over 50 years, and they seem to make those commitments only so they can violate them, just like with the agreed framework in 1994. But I think it's important, David, to distinguish between the JCPOA itself and U.S. law, specifically the Iran Nuclear Agreement Review Act. The President has to make a decision by October 15th whether to certify under U.S. law not only that Iran is fully, transparently, and verifiably complying with the JCPOA, but also that the JCPOA is in the, quote, vital national security interests of the United States. I would say they're not complying fully and verifiably and transparently on the first point, but more importantly, the second point, it clearly is not in our vital national security interests. The President himself has said it's an embarrassment and the worst deal in U.S. history from the floor of the United Nations General Assembly. That deal ultimately puts the United States in a position of making Iran a legitimate and lawful nuclear power in a mere 8 to 13 years, assuming they don't have a covert nuclear program. In the meantime, it has empowered and enabled Iran's campaign of imperial aggression across the Middle East, which has only gotten worse and more aggressive over the last 2 years. So I think it's time for a new approach. It's time to say to Congress, say to our allies, say to Iran, that this president is not just going to continue a series of half-hearted certifications. He is going to strike out on a new direction. He's going to demand a better deal, and that he's willing to engage in coercive diplomacy to get that.